if I sound a bit underneath the weather. I am almost finished with my cold. It's not over yet, but it's getting there. I always do that. All the squares are pretty much done. The last one, 24. It's going to be our last one of this tea calendar. The 24 one is going to be pretty cool, I have to say so myself. This was actually a tea calendar that I got from my sister years ago. I really love it. It served its purpose quite well. Here we go. So, we are going to talk about July roundups. Okay, so this is my birth month, but by the time you see this video, it is already passed. Don't worry, by the time I hit the 30, every video should be like up to date. And there's a reason why. I batch fill them all. It's called Orthodoxy. So this book was recommended to me by the therapist on top of where I work. We kind of have like a good like relationships. He's more of the financial advisor, but I already got my Aristotle from the actual psychologist. He's more of a financial advisor, so I asked him, oh, what books do you recommend and all that stuff. What I found interesting about this book was everything was a contradiction of everything. I thought it was quite interesting. It talked a little bit about boyhood, though I'm not a boy, but alright. That's where I got from like Hoopla, so I was like, alright, yeah, I'll listen to it. There was another theory too about a gate theory that I was more interested in, but I think there was in like another book. I'm not too sure. It has been a while since I last read it, so when I do listen to my audiobooks, I usually like tune in, tune out, and only take what resonates with me at the time. I found it to be very interesting. Like, we were having a conversation, me and the man upstairs. Like, books like those are starting to make a comeback of these years lately, because back then they only had their own worldview. Like, all they had was time to think and ponder and rethink things over. And I think the good thing now, that the reason why it's starting to have like a little bit of a comeback of late, is because in these days it's such like, we're so informationally driven. Like, we can get information like that, so we hardly have time to actually like stop and think for ourselves. So, which I found very interesting. I highly recommend it. I mean, did I personally like it? I mean, it's alright. If you wanted to know what went through a guy's head in his days and how everything's a contradiction, a little bit about boyhood and a bit about his mother, and I was like, alright, that's cool, bro. Whatever you want, this guy. Yeah, we just talked a little bit of that. So that was the first book of the month. Money Mastery, The Game. 7 Simple Steps to Financial Freedom. So this book was actually recommended to me by a YouTuber. His name is Anthony Robbins, like Tony Robbins. That's his name, Anthony. I didn't mind it. I thought it was really good. Definitely more on the high end of financial books, and it is American, so a lot of things that he was talking about, it relates more to American and their retirement funds and how people in that country like save for retirement. I found it was very interesting. Even though I am Australian, I do find it like interesting in their mindset. This book is a little bit older, so some of the things back then is no longer as irrelevant, especially after the COVID environment and AI. But it still had some core values which I really enjoyed. What I found most interesting about all of them is that they always talk about family, legacy, or retirement. A lot of people think like, oh, money's bad, money's evil, but surprisingly, like, money is actually really, really good. If you know how to handle it, you can better prepare for everything, like your family, your retirement, and like your future. Like, that's the reason why I got into money at like an early age. Well, finance books at an early age, because A, I knew jack shit about money, and B, I want to have a good life. Like, I like living a clean girl life that is simple. I don't want to stress, because a lot of self-worth ties up with stress. It's better to be updated. So this book may be a little bit outdated, but the core values are still there. Unshakeable, Your Financial Freedom Playbook. Tony Robbins, exactly the same thing as Money Masteries, but it is shorter and more potent. It goes a little bit more in depth about Tony Robbins' like history. At first, I had no idea who Tony Robbins was. I was like, oh, he's that guy that has the thick accent that pops up every now and then. The more I listened, the more like his voice resonated with me. I'm like, this guy, he's pretty cool. You learn a little bit of his backstory, how traumatic it was and how money, you know, affected him. Like his family was poor and then one person gave him groceries to feed him for Christmas or something, some kind of event, and that event changed his life forever. And I like the part how Tony Robbins is very like family oriented. He's more giving back and feeding people and educating people. Like his goal in life is never to be like make money blah blah blah. It's always like make money, get what you want, and then give back. That's how it should be taught. Like I wish schools actually taught more about money literacy. Like they taught us nothing. Like they taught us math and all this stuff, and I'm like, that could be a calculator, but never taught us about like finances, taxes, how to save, how to invest, how to start a business. Well, technically they do business. I highly recommend those books. In fact, I'll show you. You know, I went through like counseling, and I also read a lot of books about love and family and stuff, because for the longest time, like there was such turmoil in my family. And so basically what I did, I made my brother and my dad vision boards, because I made a vision board. I decided to make my brothers like a vision board, and one of them is Tony Robbins. There we go. It was AI. I just went on ChatGPT and I was like, all right, there you go. Oh, there's that guy too, because my brother does not read. Did that and stuff, and I was like, he can't read, but I can give him bloody quotes and some kind of positive role model, because there's not many role models. But I have read all those books. I haven't read this one yet. That is going to be my August one, Can't Hurt Me, because my cousin read that one and I was like, oh, I'll read that one too. And I also read my dad one as well. Yeah, I left gaps for them to put whatever they want in there, because my dad likes fishing. So currently me and dad right now are reading this guy. Yeah, we first read that one and we're going to read Beyond Order together. So that will be interesting, and then we're going to read this one. So right now I'm listening to that one, and then we're gonna swap. Tony Robbins, I really highly recommend him. He's a really cool guy. He's very animated. I like that. Very smart, very family oriented, very good. Yeah, you worked hard, you deserve it, bro. Good on you. I liked it. So with me, I always love sleeping books. Not because I'm like, how do I sleep better? But because I always had nightmares as a kid and I don't know how. Like, I can't explain it to you. It's like, it was so like seeing something. So that's why I went into a lot of like sleep books. And I was like, why does this happen? Why does that happen? Kind of found out why. Definitely not food. I mean, just lose the weight. Just lose the weight. Coming from me, I was like 20 kilos heavier, and even I say like, yeah, lose the weight, you're gonna sleep better, life gets so much better. Not so much like, honey, like I know it's painful, but one step at a time, the other side is greener and the world will treat you better. And it sounds harsh now, but like, I believe in you, girl. The UltraMind solution. So because I was on my like weight loss journey, I already read like a lot of like health books, like the Wheat Belly Diet Compass book. Like they already told me everything I needed to know. But the UltraMind solution basically was all that in one, which was really good. It gave me like PDF of like nutrition, how to eat and all that stuff, sleep, XYZ. So that was good. I highly recommend that as well. I don't 12 Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. So I already read the first one, which was Recovering from Emotionally Immature Parents. So this one is more it's the main book and then the Recovery. So I should have read that one first, but it was on Hoopla and I was like, oh, I like that one. Might as well read the actual book. And the actual book was really good as well. I probably should have started with that one then. But basically what I learned from those books is that your parents are just like frozen at like, you know, in their 20s. They're trying the best they could, and how they like communicate and like power play. Because one thing I've noticed in my like thing, because the last video that you saw was me getting presents and all that stuff, that is kind of like their love language. Because I love my family, but we're not very emotionally connected. We're more so like gift thing, which is okay. I don't mind it. I'm like, yeah, that's your love language. Not upsets me, but I understand why parents won't get vulnerable, because they themselves don't know, because their parents was not vulnerable with them. So I think that's what gravitates me the most to books. Like, it won't fix all your problems, but it will make you understand a lot of things in life. So I learned now it's just a bit like, you know what, it ain't that deep. Everyone's still a child at heart. So this from the library, Rich Dad Poor Dad. So first of all, I saw this float around with my dad. I always wanted to read it, but it was never on Hoopla or anything, so I actually bought it, which I actually found very interesting. So you know how I bought the annual subscription? I actually went online, so everything's like capped at $14.95, but I went online and you buy credits. So I bought 5 of them for $10, so $49 and 90 something cents. So that was actually extremely good value. So love it. I thought it would be more like you know, more finance heavy, but this is more attitude and knowledge about money and behavior and discipline towards money. So granted, it's on a guy's point of view, not a girl's point of view, because I'm more of like she's on the money kind of like girls that invest kind of books, because they're a lot more like I am currently just like flipping through it while I listen to it. So when I went to the library and got that boy, guess what was right next to it? Rich Woman and Poor Woman. So I'm going to eventually listen to this one, but for the time being I'm just gonna leave this in my house. I told my brother before, I'm like, please, if you want my audiobooks, just download the app so I can give you my subscription and stuff. And he's like, nah. And I'm like, please just do Hoopla or something. I don't know. Like, as you can tell, I've already made like a vision board for him, trying to give him, but you can't. It's just like, my dad's like, oh, he doesn't read. And I'm like, well, I don't read too, but I listen to audiobooks and all that stuff. And there's nothing wrong with an audiobook. Free book is a free book. That's what I do. And considering this is like my like future, I can't really like force anyone to do it. I'm trying to be more sensitive towards men. I know like some women are just like, hi men. Well, truth is, I don't hate men. I just like, it's interesting, bro. It's cool, bro. Because I'm like, hey, that's cool, man. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm probably very asexual. Like, I get more like satisfaction of like watching like a cute anime or something, like them hot touching hands, than I do with like full on like, I'm just like very chill that way. I have to do my shameless plug of, yay, becoming her. Here's my little logo. Smash that like button, subscribe, and what's your favorite read of the month? Because this is already past July, but what's your favorite book of the month? Peace out and have a wonderful day. Because I gotta go do my facial. Alright, bye bye.
Also guys, I forgot to mention Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, but first let me show you where I went to get my face done. So it was really cute, this place, and no, I did not drink the tea, even though I kind of wanted to. It was so lovely. I highly recommended this place. I've never been before, and I felt like a glazed donut afterwards. So Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil, highly recommend this book. It is so deep. It talks about you have to be intentional with everything you do, act and say, and the more intent and clear thinking you are, the less likely you are to be tempted by the devil. And the devil's not necessarily a bad person, he's just your lack of willpower, I guess. So there I am, looking like a glazed donut, and have a wonderful day, guys.